Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I wanted to do a quick reading for Kim Kauffman and what's going on between her and the Watts family all of a sudden, like what occurred between Kim Kauffman and Chris Watts' family and him so suddenly to make her completely cut ties with them and barely post what happened so suddenly to cause her to stop posting and to completely turn off from them. What is going on between Kim Kauffman and the Watts family currently? Queen of Pentacles in reverse. What is going on between the Watts family and Kim Kauffman? The Moon card, Seven of Swords, the Lovers, Nine of Wands in reverse, and the Ace of Cups. And on the bottom we have Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so before I get started, just so I can protect myself against any kinds of lawsuits or anything like that, just a disclaimer. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I am a tarot card reader. I read what they say. That is what it is. It's not fact. It is what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling. But everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Anybody that I speak of today, unless they've been pled guilty and they've been convicted, they are innocent until they are proven guilty. This is just the energy and what I'm feeling and seeing. So now, the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse shows Kim's failure to maintain control over Chris and the stability and security that she had with controlling his family to ensure her control over the whole situation. Her ability to manipulate and ensure that what she wanted was going to happen. Oh, and he was going to be listening to her, that he was on board with her, all that stuff, right? She lost that. She lost that before she ever even made a video. And I've said that many a videos ago. That is loud and clear. Always has been. Her insecurity, and she felt like she needed to regain some type of control, as well as spread her mean-spirited, wicked hatred for Shanann. She felt intense hatred for Shanann. You can tell the hatred's there. She talks about being unbiased, but you can literally tell that there is some intense hatred for Shanann. Maybe Shanann pushed her one day in kindergarten and she still remembers that shit. Maybe Shanann screwed her over on a job, whatever. Money is money, but that doesn't give you the right to do and take someone's life, period. So, whatever. But for her, it was more jealousy toward her. But even in death, she's still jealous of her, which is funny to me. Guess who got the last laugh? That's Shanann, And, and she was completely cut out of the loop and completely X. She hadn't, see, what I'm feeling with the energy is that her communication with Chris was cut off way before, possibly. Or was restricted some. But it was mainly Cindy who kept her around. But there was some big blowout with them that happened way before now. So, because of that, because she was unable to, when she was in the loop and she was in the inside, in control, and felt, security and important and shit, she was unable to really vocally pursue and spew that hatred for her on a larger scale. So she took, so she wanted to make money. That's why she started the channel. That's what the channel was all about. It was all about money and bashing Shanann, tarnishing Shanann, because ultimately she's still jealous of Shanann. Nothing but money and wickedness was on her mind. The moon being beside it, that speaks of the deceptive image that she gave to the public when she created the channel in the first place, regarding her importance and how she fit into the case, and boosted her, like put her on the mantle. Like she said, she had 700 more pages than Chris Watts had of his own case. How do you have 700 more pages than Chris Watts has of his own case? That doesn't even make any sense to me. Or his lawyers, or his parents. Like, who the hell are you? Why are you so special? It doesn't make any sense. So it also it's also about her fear, because the moon is past issues resurfacing. Her fear of her past issues, her deceptions, her lies, and stuff resurfacing. Either fears associated with hers or NK's past, like, illegal behavior that, occurred. Which I really just think that NK is KK. I think that they're the same person. I do not think that they are two separate people. There has not once in any reading been any indication that Nicole Kessinger and Kim Kauffman are two separate individuals. They give off the energy to me as the same individual. I have no concrete proof of this. This is just the energy I pick up on, and I'm usually pretty spot on. I'm not going to say I'm 100% always spot on, but certain things I'm pretty accurate with when it comes to energy specifically. And I felt from the very beginning that they were the same individual. Or sisters, or she was working for. Either way it goes, they would come as one energy probably to me. Either way it went. So, that illegal behavior would be coming to the surface. So it also shows that there's some missing information about her involvement, and it being exposed due to being cut off and being unable to know what's going on. There's an insecurity and an uncertainty about if it will be or not, what's going to happen. So the Seven of Swords, that's her thinking strategically. Again, she created the channel and speaking out and bashing Shanann. All of that was because she was no longer involved with the family. She felt forced to be sneaky, underhanded, and act strategically because she is at risk of her involvement being exposed. She needed a way to come up with money that she needs to escape. I feel like she wants to move somewhere. I feel like she's been moving for a while, but I feel like there's a plan that she has when she needs it. She has a backup plan in mind, but she doesn't have the money for this yet. And that was the plan with the channel. The Lovers, for me, it's feeling like Chris, and he made a decision. They were in a partnership. They were unified. And he realized, due to the Nine of Wands in reverse, her being defensive, and she was only interested in defending herself, making sure that she was able to get away with what she did or her shit, that it was going to keep him stuck, and he was never going to make any progress, and nothing was ever going to get resolved in a way. Because even if a 35C isn't, I don't think that's what it is. I think that he literally wants to just like get it off get it off. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, just get it out. The truth of the matter, the truth, the real truth, as Cheryl and Cato said, but the other people's involvement, and he wanted to go back on the agreement that he did make with her, because he doesn't even see her the same anymore. He really didn't. At least Nicole Kessinger, that is. There was, he sees her for who she is, a manipulative sociopath who only cares about herself. And Kim Kauffman is the very same way, and it's really hard for me to believe that two manipulative sociopaths could be friends with each other and be that adamant of protecting each other. The only person that a manipulative sociopath would do so with would be themselves, because, ultimately, they love themselves the most. She was very defensive in keeping him stuck and keeping him from making any kind of groundwork or any kind of movements or anything out of fear of her not being sure if she would make it out of the other side of it. She knew that there was no way that she could allow him to do anything of the sort. At least she needed to hold him off until she could gather up her resources, get her money, and go. She's probably got a good bit too, I'm telling you. Her being cut off was very shocking for her and unexpected. She was not even expecting it. And because it was very unexpected for her, it knocked her off balance. And the Ace of Cups here is her being off balance and using the channel that she started. And, it may have seemed, again, the moon card is things appearing one way but really being another way as well. She made it appear that she was out in defense of him, and it was about a 35C. But there was really, in my opinion, some things that she said that, were pointed toward his family as a message of sorts as well. I think that there's a little bit of intimidation factor that she was trying to convey, but I don't think that it worked either. Because, when you cut people off, they get mad. They try to get even, all that. But she used this creative endeavor, so to speak, as an opportunity to aid her in the release of the emotional baggage of her past, of her ties with him, of her schemy behavior, of her lies, her deception, trying to get away with something and go away unnoticed. Basically, what her plan was, but it's taken longer than she had anticipated, which is what kind of has happened recently. She doesn't have any more ideas, She talked in circles because her only mission was to just try to bash it in. I'm surprised that she didn't just, do that. But she tried to make it fit, but because she has this way of, talking around things and just, saying it matter-of-factly as, it's the Bible, But she had an intense hatred, and it helped her pour that out, kind of release some of that feelings that she had bottled up about it, I guess. But mainly she wanted to rid herself and have a fresh start. Get away with everything, escape undetected, run away and get out of Dodge. In and out, scam the people real quick, make a quick buck off of her vile and vicious and words about Shanann. It's like she because she's very much like Cindy too. They're all three very similar: Shanann, Cindy, and Nicole Kessinger. The difference is Shanann had a heart, and Shanann had feelings, and Shanann was a mothering type person. She was a nurturer. So she wanted to make people feel better. She didn't want to make them feel worse. She wanted to at least try. And because we're not all great people, because we all are kind of selfish and self-centered, we all are. Essentially, we all are the center of our own worlds. And sometimes when we're in situations, we don't realize that we're being selfish or that we're acting a little overboard, or that a situation isn't necessarily as hurtful to us as we think it is, or something isn't exactly the way we thought it was. We're kind of being a little bullheaded and not seeing our part in it. But Shanann did. And that's the thing. Shanann was trying to look back when Chris started to change and act weird. Looked back on her actions and seen where she could have improved, where she was too much of this. Because, to be fair, we contribute to every situation in our lives. Now, when we're children, of course, we're not accountable. We can't be accountable. There's no way we could have contributed to that. But when we become a certain age and awareness and, our brains are fully developed, adulthood, we are aware of our decisions, and we are a contributor to our environment. So just as an example, before I got with my husband, my wonderful, sweet husband, I was with someone for a very long time, like 10 years. Almost 10 years. And I am not exaggerating when I tell you that this man he was mean to me, or emotionally abusive, I guess I could say. Not so much physically. There was a few times, but there wasn't so much of that. It was more of a manipulative thing. Like, he could wake up, right? And the sun would be or it would be raining and not sunny, and it would be like my fault kind of thing. And it just, that's how it was. Like, anything that went wrong, it was my fault. And, after a while, I accepted that it was. But I can't talk. I allowed that situation to go on for as long as it did. I allowed myself to be treated the way I was treated. I even, gave some of it back, during the course of it. I shelled it back out. But he could not have done what he did and acted how he acted and took so much time up out of my life where he made me miserable. It was like my own personal prison that I made for myself or something. Like, I felt like I deserved it almost, I think. And I contributed to that. I could have walked away. It wasn't just him, because he was responsible for how he acted, but I was responsible for what I did. I couldn't be accountable for his actions, only mine, and how I responded to them and how they were dealt with. And and it's important for me to see that it wasn't just him, it was me too. And just some advice, ladies, and I know this has nothing to do with this. This is just some advice from somebody who has been through things and spent 10 years being and feeling and just the worst. I don't even know how to describe it. Just mentally feeling down, being brutalized by myself. Like, I have anxiety. So it's like my head screams negative thoughts at me, and then someone else is screaming it too. It almost validates it. But I was miserable, y'all, for 10 years almost of my life. I was leaving him for about 5 of those years. I was just a little slow. I was in slow mo. But let me tell you something. My husband, he is so kind, and I still see residuals, like when I'm apologizing for something really, really fast and stuff that I shouldn't even, apologize for. It's residuals from that abuse, from that mental abuse that I suffered, essentially. But he came into my life, and he loved me how I was supposed to. He showed me what love really was and how I should really be treated. And through him loving me, I learned to love myself. He loved me so much and just genuinely wanted me to be happy that he helped me love myself and actually understand that happiness isn't a destination. It can be all the time. It's not a happily ever after thing. It's no matter what, through the bad times, whatever. There's somebody there that genuinely only wants me to be happy, and I genuinely only want that for him as well. And any burden I have, we share it together, and it'll be fine because I got you, babe. Yeah. But after being with someone who genuinely made me happy after that time, I can tell you that the feeling does exist. Guys like that do exist. And happiness is attainable. You don't have to be and feel treated like shit. You do not have to settle, because there will be someone who loves you so much that every broken piece comes back together again. Even better than before. I'm just saying. Y'all probably don't even want my wisdom. I'm just a little Mississippi girl that has some abilities. But that's my advice. If you're with someone who doesn't make you happy and doesn't, put that as the forefront of your relationship, both of you, then what are you waiting for? Because you're just going to regret it. And, you deserve it. Because, ladies, that's the most important part. We have to love ourselves, because our body and our minds and ourselves, we're the only one. We come in together, we're going to die together. You're all you have. Steadily, no matter what. From the moment you are born to the moment you die, you have you. And loving yourself is the most important thing that you can do. So, anyways, I love you guys. I'm sorry I rambled, but have a great day and do something nice for someone today. Make someone else smile. I promise you, it helps. Makes you feel good. Not even something big. Just do something to make someone else smile. Just out of the kindness of your heart. No, prompting. Just do it, and just look at that moment on that person's face when they see that you've done that, and that feeling that comes from that look, and just elate in it, because that's some genuine kindness and genuine emotions, man. And we need to just spread it, man. Peace, love, and happiness. The hippiness. I gotta stop, y'all. Bye.